Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce's Let's Talk Business podcast. My name is Bobby Holman, and I am your host for the hour. I am also the Vice President of Region 2, Galveston County, for the Chamber. And as I always say, we have a very exciting show for you today. We are, again, spotlighting our member showcase. And I won't say new member showcase because they're not like really new members, but they're amazing members of the chamber. And so I am so proud to have you on our show today. So we're gonna just jump right in. The pre-conversation before the taping was awesome, and so I'm gonna introduce you to first. Ladies first. Ladies
Yes,
first. Okay.
absolutely.
So I'm going to introduce you to Kay Karmon. She is the president and CEO of Coastal Community Credit Union in Galveston. So, Kay, welcome to the show, and
Thank
tell
you.
us a little bit about yourself.
Wow. Thank you so much. I am so excited about being here. Just a little bit about myself. I've been in the credit industry for 30 years.
Okay.
And I am so very proud to be able to serve as president and CEO at Coastal Community Federal Credit Union. I've worked in several aspects of banking, and I truly have to say that this is probably the highlight of my career.
Oh, wow. That is exciting. That is exciting. I know that Galveston is really proud to have you, and I am glad that you bring so much to the table. Education, banking education, and all those things that we need, and so we'll get into that a little bit more later in the show. Next we have Mr. Larry Godfrey, who is the owner of MD4U. Welcome to the show, Mr. Godfrey, and please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Larry Godfrey. I am the actual owner of MD4U Training Center. It's industrial training. We do actually some vocational training as well. We have over 70 certifications that we can provide to.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we have a curriculum that is from a nonprofit organization called NCCER.
Okay.
So about me, I was in the construction industry for 20 plus years.
Okay.
And so just decided that I would put together a school so that everybody could benefit from it. And we'll talk about the construction industry a little bit more as we go.
And you put emphasis on everybody.
That's correct. That's correct.
I know that there's something underlying in there, in the everybody
Yeah,
part.
everybody means women and men.
Okay.
So within my industry, which is the construction industry, that's what it consists of.
Okay.
So just like men have opportunity, also women have an opportunity. And we're going to talk about the certifications later on.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Kim, back to you. Tell us, you said you love what you do, you love your
Yes.
job. Tell us what you love about the credit union industry.
The collaboration. I love the fact that I can call another credit union down the street if I need something, and they know that they can call us and we will reciprocate whatever that may be.
Okay.
I love the idea that we have an opportunity to wake up every day and you get to help someone. That's a really good feeling, and especially when you go to bed at night and you know that you've improved someone's quality of life.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, Larry, I'm going to come back to you for a second.
Okay.
What does MD4U? Because when I saw that, I knew. I didn't know, but I knew. I didn't know what it meant, but I knew that it was something significant. So tell us, what does it mean and how did it come into existence?
Okay, so MD4U simply means make decisions for you.
Oh,
There were a lot of young men that I was affiliated with, and they didn't know what to do with their lives. So I would ask the question, even when let me back it up. I was a barber for 10 years. And so I'm in the barbershop, I'm asking young boys, where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Oh, I see myself in college and I'm gonna be a basketball player. Okay, and then what? So
yes.
they had no sense of direction. So they wanted to go to college, but a lot of them didn't even make it to college. So what's the next alternative? And I'll give you another one. There are a lot of scholarships for those who go to college, But what about those that don't go to college?
Right.
And so that's where the certifications come in. I'm also a recipient as well of certifications, even though I have a degree, and we'll talk about that as well when it comes to the certification. So that's what Make Decisions for You is all about. Having your parents, for instance, to come in, and I'll give y'all the story about this. I'll never forget a young man, his mom wanted him to be an electrician.
Okay.
I want him to be an electrician.
She
And I'm
wants it to
listening.
be.
Yeah, I'm listening to this, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to hear this out.
Okay.
Oh, she just wanted him to be what she wanted him to be.
Mhm.
But he wanted to be a safety professional.
Okay.
So I told her this. If you let him be what he want to be, and you pay for this class, within 2 weeks he can come back and give you all of the money that you paid for. You invest in him today, and he'll come back and return on investment. So that young man made all A's in my class. And the job that he was working for put him in a safety position. And this young man came back and said, Mr. Larry, I'm safety, and I paid my mom, and I got my own place.
That's great.
Because the construction
Mission
industry,
accomplished.
he went from 30,000 to 150,000 within the construction industry,
Good for
and
you.
that's how it is
So,
with
so
certifications.
okay, so MD4U is a nonprofit organization.
Yes, it's a nonprofit organization that I founded 2013. It didn't start off as a vocational training. Start off, I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do? And then a really good friend of mine said, man, why don't you just do what we're doing? I mean, we out here, we got certifications, and so we designed it so that the working men and working women could come after hours, after work, and come to our facility and get a certification.
That is awesome.
Because what I had to do in order to get my certification in safety, I had to take off for a week. And if you don't have any vacation time or anything of that nature, that's just money lost.
Right.
So that's when we developed the MD4U Training Center.
Make decisions for you.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Nonprofit. And nonprofits can make money, by the way. That's
Yes.
a little nugget off this right out there. Okay, Kay, so tell us what is different? What makes Coastal Community Federal Credit Union different? What sets you apart from the other boys?
It's the community in which we serve.
There you go.
We're primarily in Galveston,
Okay.
and we are very active in the community. And so that has a lot to do with people feeling comfortable when they walk through the door. If they see us on a fire truck and we're going down Broadway, as we did this past weekend,
Okay.
they see us on that fire truck, and then they walk through the front door, and we're the same folks that was waving the door and came in the fire truck. It puts them at ease,
Yes,
and
it
that's
does.
really what we strive to do, is make sure that when folks are coming into our organization, they're very comfortable, and they feel comfortable talking to us about what they've got going on financially,
Okay.
and we really listen to them. And then work with them to be able to come up with a plan to, again, get them in a better financial position than that they may be in at that particular time.
And I think that's so important because especially if you're in a financial situation that is, I'll say, not favorable. You know, you may be going through some financial challenges. You may
Right.
not have the best credit. It could be some other things. But to know that they have the comfort of knowing that, hey, I can, you know, she's going to hear me.
Yes.
And then when I tell her my story, she's not going to judge me,
Exactly.
you know, but they're going to help me get out of this situation.
Right.
And that's hard. That is hard because, you know, to be transparent, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
I'm talking to you about something that's very personal for me, and I can share that with you. And without judgment, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to help you, and you need to do A, B, C, and D.
Exactly.
But you got to work with me.
Right.
And, you know, we had a conversation maybe a year ago now, and I know that you're a go-getter and you're a get-it-done type of person. And you shared with me, and I don't know if you remember, but I was in your office, and you said, you know, don't come to me and tell me your situation, and I'm helping you, but you're not doing your part.
Exactly. Exactly.
You remember that?
Yes, I do. And you
Yeah.
have to bring something to the table. We work quite a bit with the City of Galveston employees,
Okay.
and I call them my guys because
Okay.
all of my members are mine.
Yeah.
All 10,000 of them.
10,000 members.
They're all mine. And I hope that when they do walk through the door that they feel that we are there for them. We had an annual meeting a couple of months back, and in my presentation, one of the things that I shared with them is I want you to walk through my door with your head held high, not hanging low. And I want you to ask for what you want. Don't ask us, what will you give us? So that's a completely different
Yes,
mindset
it
than
is.
some folks have had in the past. And just like you alluded to, people are oftentimes very uncomfortable talking
That's right.
about their finances.
That's
And
right.
so what we like to do is to be able to set them at ease and create an environment where they are forthcoming with what's going on. Now, we've been in the business long enough to know which questions to ask, how to draw the additional information out to be able to get people to where they really need to be.
Yeah.
And, you know, typically when we have those type of conversations, they'll come back and they'll say, well, Miss K, what can I do for you? And I said, the highest compliment you can pay me is to go get your coworker and bring them in so that we would be able to help them as well.
Wow. Yeah. That is awesome. And you know, I can remember I started working at the post office in Galveston in 1981, 21 years old, young, you know. And so, again, I wasn't taught how to save money. I wasn't taught how to, I had this, my great uncle used to always say, if you make 50 cents, you need to save 15 cents. That was in one ear. My mom was on the other hand saying, look, you want it, you work for it, you get it. It doesn't matter, you know. And so, of course, I leaned more to that part. You know, I deserve it, you know, I deserve that. And so I think that since 1981, I became a member of Coastal Credit Union, and I look at Coastal then, and I look at Coastal now, and you have literally changed the complexion of Coastal, and that is amazing because I have seen so many different CEOs and different presidents since 1981, you know, and to me, and I'm just not blowing smoke up your dress, but I'm saying you have changed the Coastal Credit Union. It's not the same, you know, and so, and even in where you are now and where you're going, the mission and the vision and all those things. I mean, when you sit back, or if you're, you know, you're sitting on the porch and you're having your coffee and you're thinking, you got to know that. You've got to know that you have made an impact. I'll just say it like that. I'll say that you've made an impact, and that is major because that's what we need, especially people of color. That is what we need because we don't know what we don't know,
right?
You know, and if we can train them up now to learn how to save. I mean, not wait till you get as old as I am to say, oh no, I'm gonna pay my tithes and I'm gonna pay myself. You know, I talked to another lady and she talked about she's doing big things too, and she talked about she always pays herself. And I don't have a relationship with her as such to where I can say, "But did you pay your tithes?"
That's right.
You know, I don't have that.
Right.
I don't. But it was in my mind, and I'm like, Lord, do you want me kind of just to say that? If that's what you want me to say, lead me to say it. But she talked about how in paying herself, how she was able to build and do all these things, you know, on you know the abroad and all these things. But if we can, and I'm just saying all that to say is if we can get to them right now, if we can get to them like right now, it's just amazing what could come, you know, later on down the line.
Absolutely. And I'll share, most of us did not grow up in the household where we talked about finances.
Right.
We didn't talk to our parents about, Mommy, Daddy, how much money do you make?
Right.
And those type of things. But it's so imperative now that we have those conversations with our children. You know, my son is 21 and he works, and our conversations around the table are son, how much do you have in your 401k?
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like, Mommy, how much do you have in yours?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's an open conversation that I think for years and years and years and years and years we should have had.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's not much taught in the school system. There's a little bit more than it used to be in the past, but not enough to really put a person in a situation whereas they can, get out of school, get a job, and start banking. I'll use that term, and know exactly how to go about doing it. So when you asked earlier about how is Coastal different, we still take that time that we need to take with our folks to be able to walk them through some of those processes that unfortunately they may not have learned previously.
Right.
So those are the little things that make for a very different financial institution.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if you're just tuning in with us, we are visiting with our guest today, Ms. Kay Karmon, who is the president and CEO of Coastal Community Credit Union in Galveston, and Mr. Larry Godfrey, who is the owner of MD4U, which means Make Decisions for You. That's awesome. That is awesome. And so if you're joining us, we have our guest here today. We're talking about banking, and we're talking about making decisions for you, and we're talking about the petrochemical industries and construction. So if you have an interest, turn up the radio, check out our YouTube videos, and you'll be able to watch and listen. Also, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Amico Federal Credit Union, Precision Quality Coatings, and the Linwood Group. Also, if you're interested in checking out GMT Radio, this is where we're in the studio right now. Check out gmtradio.com. That's gmtradio.com. And you will find that GMT Radio is accessible and available to meet all of your media needs. If you're needing a podcast, if you're needing a commercial, if you're needing to do a TV show, a talk show, I think I said commercial. I said commercial. Okay. So if you're in the need, check out GMT Radio. You can download the app and just go on there and check him out. He's doing amazing things for you. So we got that out of the way, our sponsorships. So now, Larry, I want to talk to you. Share with us, you mentioned earlier, NCCER. What is that? For a person that knows nothing about the construction petrochemical industry, because I know nothing.
So NCCER is the National Career and Construction Education Research.
Okay.
They were founded in 1970. It's a certification nonprofit organization that has the curriculums of certifications.
Okay.
And for instance, if you want to be a pipe fitter, well, you go and you learn from someone else to be a pipe fitter. But when you get the certification, it changes everything. So it's another education, right? So I'll give you a primary example. If you go to the community college and you say, okay, I want to be an instrumentation technician. Okay, that's a 2-year degree, right? You go and get your 2-year degree, and then I come in and I have my certification, instrumentation tech. I'm gonna get a job for you, because NCCER is recognized within the petrochemical industry and the construction industry, and that's the big deal. So you can never say that I can't be educated. You can be educated.
Yes.
You can make a lot of money. I'm talking about 6 figures, and some even more than that. I have so many guys that call me. I'll give you a primary example. I had one that called me. He's working in Chicago, making over $200,000 just in the construction industry from the certification that he received from me in safety. So it's very lucrative. Now, here's why I would say that you would need K. Because when you're making that kind of money,
yes,
you got to know how to budget it.
Yes.
Give you a prime example. When I first started in the industry, when I first started my safety career,
okay.
I was put on a turnaround. What a turnaround is that the plant or the petrochemical industry shut down a unit.
Okay.
When they shut down that unit, it's normally shut down for 3 months. So I'm making, just within 3 months, I'm making about $20,000
Okay.
within that 3 months.
Okay.
And I never forget, a friend of mine said, "Hey, Larry, what are you doing with your money? I know you get paid every week. What are you doing with it?" I said, "Man, well, I'm kind of feeling uncomfortable like you said. I said,
Yeah.
"Man, what are you asking me about my money for?"
Yeah.
He said, "Man, answer the question. What are you doing with that extra money that you're making? Are you living off 40? Are you living on 40 hours a week? Or are you throwing that other money, that extra money away?" Because I was bringing home about $3,000 a week. So he's like, "Man, what are you doing with that extra?" So that's the reason why we need K. Because within this industry, construction industry, you can make a lot of money. And also, I want to just talk about this. Within the industry also, I know that mothers are afraid for their kids to go to the construction industry, but we put a lot of policies in place and procedures to ensure the safety of the people. I would say, come see me first
Okay.
and let me educate you on what you'll get yourself off into. I had one young lady that was working at Walmart distribution center. She came through my safety course. And I'm talking, I didn't know her background, so I'm talking petrochemical language. And she just like getting all afraid and like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this." Oh yeah, you can do it. Because why? The certification that you going to obtain is not just for the petrochemical industry. Then she used it at Walmart distribution, and they put it in safety.
Wow.
At Walmart distribution center.
Good.
I've had them come from the medical field, and it went straight into safety, instrumentation, pipe, electrical, all of the above. And also too, I just want to point this out as well. Not only do I teach the actual CCR on the safety side, but I'm also an OSHA trainer as well.
I was going to mention that. I was going to mention that because we have a mutual friend. Well, he's the one that connected me to you.
Right.
And he, just high accolades.
Right.
And he's like, "You gotta get a hold of this guy. You gotta get a hold of this guy." And he mentioned because he's in safety,
Right.
in OSHA before trucking. And
Right.
That's
Right.
another story. But
Right.
that is amazing because it's all foreign to me.
Right.
I mean, construction and refineries and all that. And of course, I know a little bit about OSHA, having worked at the post office.
That's
and
right.
that kind of thing. But that is, and I know that it's a very lucrative industry.
It is.
Yeah,
It really
I know. You can make some plans to do some things and to build.
Oh, absolutely.
To
Just
build
off
on
of
it.
certifications.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I'll give you a primary example. I have a mother say to her son, "What are you gonna do with your life? You in high school now. You get ready to graduate. You got options. Your option is either you're gonna go to the military, you're gonna go to college. Don't look like you're gonna make it in college because you ain't doing so well.
Looking at these grades.
Yeah. So, are you gonna get a job?" And so that's what I'm saying. It doesn't just have to be that option.
Yeah.
Come see me and let me get you certified.
That's good.
Because certifications go a long way.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That is good stuff. And when you mentioned earlier about come to see you to get the certifications to make all the money, and then you go see Kay, and she's
There
gonna
you
show
go.
you. That's just win all day.
No doubt.
That's
No
win
doubt.
all day.
Exactly.
And so Kay, you spoke earlier about I mentioned the impact that you have on the community, and you mentioned it's sort of like outreach where okay. So tell us a little bit about the ideal member. Who is or what does that look like?
That's a great question. The ideal member is someone that's willing to make the commitment to get to a better place financially.
Okay.
As you mentioned earlier, when you and I first talked, I talked about we'll do whatever we need to do to help you. We just want you to meet us halfway, and let's get there together.
Okay.
And so that ideal member is someone that is wanting to save, that would love to be able to improve their credit, I tell everybody I want you in a nice car and a wonderful home.
Mm-hmm.
That's my goal for my members,
Okay.
is to ensure that everyone's driving a nice car
Okay.
and they have their own home.
Okay. Okay. That is awesome. What would you tell a person that came to you and says, "Hey, Miss K, my credit is in the negative. I'm bottomed out. You know, I'm bottomed out in my credit, and I'm struggling, and I'm ashamed because you know we're there. You know, as a people, you know, some of our challenges we're not open to sharing. You know,
Right.
and so because we don't want people to know.
I
You know, we don't want people to know. So what would you tell a person who came to you and say, "Hey, I'm surrendering to this. I want better. What do I need to do, and how can you help me?"
Again, great question. As I mentioned earlier, we can kind of tell. You know, when
Okay.
you've been in this industry for
Yes.
quite some time, you really try to go into the conversation that putting that person at ease and just letting them know, regardless of what situation you came in with, 9 times out of 10 we've seen worse.
Okay.
And I always tell my folks, just breathe. Let's just take a deep breath, and we're going to work through this together.
Yes.
You can probably tell I take a pretty hands-on approach
Yes.
with my folks, and that's how I like to work with them one-on-one if I possibly can. Now, because of my role, unfortunately, I don't have an opportunity to work with every member coming in,
Right.
not all 10,000 of them, but I do have an opportunity to work with a team of branch managers and officers that do this on a day-to-day basis. So what we typically tell them is, let's go ahead and pull that credit report. Let's see where we are. What's our starting point?
Okay.
And then once we take a look to see where that starting point is, we start building a little plan for them, whatever their situation is, to get them to that next step. The first thing that we typically tell people is, let's just start off with a share secured loan. Give us $500. We'll put it in a savings account. Let's borrow against it. And let's make those consistent payments back to that loan. And that's the jumping off point, so to speak.
Okay.
Once we do that, we try to move on to a credit card. Maybe a $500 balance on a credit card. So
Okay.
little things that we can do to start getting that credit where we want it to be. The other thing that is really pretty important to us is we have a program called Balance. And in that Balance program, it is budgeting. It is debt management. And so oftentimes we will ask those folks, if we can't get it done in a setting or two, let's go ahead and move you over to a balance program, which will allow a counselor, certified counselor, certification,
Wow. There you go.
certified counselor, to be able to work with you, because things change in that credit world on an annual basis. So once upon a time, if you had something on your credit report and it was related to a medical type situation, emphasis was put on that. Not so much so now with some of the credit models and credit monitoring programs out there now. So every year you take a look to see exactly where you are, and again devise a plan to be able to get you from that 500 Beacon score to hopefully a 700 Beacon or FICO score. And as I mentioned earlier, we have a set of counselors that can work with our members at no charge, and that's the other thing that's really pretty important to me. If we can do it
again.
If we can do it for you at no charge with one of our partners, we would much rather you do that as opposed to going out there and paying a monthly fee to have someone. I'm not knocking, some of these programs and whatnot, but if you can go down to your local credit union, just about every credit union on the corner would have a program such as that to be able to refer their members over so that you can get that additional assistance that you're needing in order to get that credit score where you want it to be.
I think that's awesome, because we need to hear that, and we're live now on radio, and we'll be on YouTube on Wednesday. You'll be able to see the audio broadcast. But to hear you say that, and when you talked about, I can't see all 10,000 of my members, one-on-one. However, I heard you say, you didn't say it, but I heard you say that there are other branch managers, or that there are others that are on the team that are in place that can duplicate what it is you're doing. And I think that is so amazing, because, and even with a person, if my credit's already bad, and it's obvious I'm already a bad money manager, and I can come to you and I can say, hey, Miss K, this is where I am, and you can say, okay, we're gonna put this together. We're gonna put it on paper, write it down, write the vision, put it down, and then we're gonna do this and this and this and this, and because you have, not knocking anybody like you said, but there are others that are out there that can say, well, I can fix your credit. I can help you with your credit, and there's a fee. But you're offering this to your members free, and that is huge, because if I'm already doing bad with my money, I don't have extra money to be able to do that.
Exactly.
So I think that's awesome.
And one of the things that I really like to work with my members on is creating a budget. I've heard people say, oh, I don't need a budget, I know what my bills are. But when we sit down and we actually pull out that Excel spreadsheet and we start typing everything in, you will be surprised at the amount of money that I'm going to use the term waste on a monthly basis. And sometimes it's just a matter of making just slight
better decisions.
Yeah, better decision. I'll give you a prime example. I was going to be a little bit early coming in to the session today, and I said, well, I want some coffee.
Okay.
Well, I decided not to go to Starbucks. I went to Circle K, and I only paid $2 as opposed to $7. I still got my coffee fixed, so it was okay. That extra $5, I can sock that away. And so those are just some of the things that we not only talk to our members about, but even the employees. We have a philosophy that we want our employees to do as well as they possibly can as well.
Right.
And so with that said, we have staff meetings on a monthly basis, and I'm always up and talking to the group, especially the younger folks, about, what are you doing with your money? And let's talk about, stocking some to the side in the 401k, or just putting it in a savings account, your rainy day fund, or whatever that case may be, so that if a situation occurs, you've got the money to be able to do what you need. And then if not, again, the credit is always there to, willing and able to lend a hand. One of the other things that is really pretty special about Coastal is, I'm going to use the term, we lend deep, meaning you don't have to have perfect credit in order to get a loan with us. What we realize is that life happens, and it happens sometimes not once, not twice, but maybe even 3 times. Life will happen to you. And so being that institution that, again, take a personal interest in those folks that come in to see us every day, and again to be able to devise a plan to get them in a much better place, is really what we're all about.
That is great. That is great. And right here on Galveston Island, that weighs so much. And getting started, and I can relate to the, well, I don't need to do a budget. I know I'm on a fixed income, so I know what my budget is. My bills are fixed and all that stuff. But even with making decisions for you, and we're talking about making wise money decisions. You going to Circle K versus going to Starbucks, and then just looking at it, because when you, like you said, when you're just looking at it on that spreadsheet, and you're like, wow, did I spend that?
Right.
Did I really? And so for me, I know that I will look. I'm more mindful about, do I want this or do I need this? Or if I got a bonus or something, I said, well, I'm gonna treat myself to those beautiful shoes I've been wanting, or something like that, And so, but a younger person will be more financially educated versus a person who just didn't have that opportunity, to do that. So I think that's awesome. And tell me the name of it again. Balance.
Yes, Balance Pro is the name of the program, and you can always contact us at the credit union. We'll be more than happy to either get you to the website or give you the information that you can access that program through.
Okay. We're gonna come back and talk about where you are and how we can find you.
Perfect.
And all that.
Good deal.
Okay. So Larry, NCCER.
Okay.
That's your baby.
That's it.
That's your baby.
That's the foundation.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. So, and foundations, can't shake that foundation if it's good and strong, right?
No doubt.
Okay. So where do you see NCCER in 5 years?
NCCER or MD for you?
MD for you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. MD for you.
In 5 years, I see MD for you. First of all, let me say this. Let me back it up. But when I set up MD for you with NCCER,
Okay.
I set it up as being able to become mobile because I wanted it to. I didn't just want to be inside of a box.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, if someone wanted to partner with me in Louisiana, I can pack up and go all over. Even if you in Dubai, call me, let me know. We can do this. You see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
that's just the way I designed it. So in 5 years, let me just tell you about the growth of us. When we first started off, we started off in a 2,200 square foot facility.
What year?
And
What year?
2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And from 2015 to 2018, we had already grew that building, that facility. And we moved from there to 11,000 square foot facility where we can offer not only just the safety, but the pipe fitting, the actual instrumentation, electrical, things of that nature. Now, and because of the actual facility that we have, we were able to train 24. Now we're able to train 35 plus, because one room alone, one of our training rooms, holds about 27 people.
Okay.
And all the rest of them hold about 12. So we got 4 altogether.
Okay.
Now, let me say this. The reason why MD4U, I see MD4U in the next 5 years being global.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because number one, there's a need.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number one thing.
Mm-hmm.
What I am tired of hearing is about our communities not being impacted with education. In this context is what I want to say. Don't tell me that you don't have an opportunity, because
You do.
you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm tired of seeing young men falling by the wayside. Even if you dropped out of high school, that's not an excuse. Come see me.
Yes. Yeah.
I can get you where you need to be in the construction industry.
In the construction
Yeah,
industry.
because
Yes.
while you need an education, a high school diploma for certain things, I still can get you certified to where you can go out and make money
So
without a high school diploma.
Okay, so when you say construction is, because I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so when you say construction, and petrochemical,
Okay,
are they like one and the same? I mean, or it's just like a.
projects are done in petrochemicals industry. I'll give you an example. When you look at the big facilities that's processing the chemicals, well, the construction projects are being done within those particular units. And that's where the construction companies come in. It's not the actual big boss that's doing the actual work. It's the guys that comes in and put a bid in and win the contracts, contractual work. And that's where the construction industry come in. That just necessarily have to be petrochemical as well, but you have construction with buildings, anything to do with construction, I'm able to certify you.
And see, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, okay, petrochemical construction. You know,
Mhm.
how does it? But you're painting a picture that I can
Yes.
better visualize.
Yes.
You know, because I'm like, construction in a refinery. You know,
Right. Construction in the refinery is, let's just say, for instance, there was a big fire that happened.
Okay.
So that needs to be fixed.
Right.
So who's going to fix it?
So you got to bring in a construction crew to fix.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And so when they come in, that's when you see the money. Like infrastructure, when they're building new facilities. Okay, that's construction. So that's what we consider is new construction when they're building new units. And that simply means that it's not connected to the petrochemical. In other words, there's no chemicals going through that facility.
Wow.
And once again, you can go into the construction industry and this is what I want the parents to know. Your son, your daughter can go into the construction industry without a certification and make minimum money. And make good money, by the way. So if you come straight out of high school, and I like to use this illustration, straight out of high school, and you got a buddy that's working at McDonald's, then you got another buddy that's working in the construction industry. He see, okay, hey man, let me see your check. That's how they do. Let me see your check. Oh, look at my check though. You got this in 2 weeks. I got this in 1 week. So I'm making right at $80,000 right out of high school, and you over at McDonald's. Don't get me wrong, McDonald's is it's a good job for those who like to do that. But I'm just saying, if you really want to make some money, you can make it in the construction industry.
But Larry, you mentioned right out of high school going into construction minimally, but minimally out of high school in construction is no comparison to minimally McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? And so would you recommend a youngster right out of high school that's coming into construction, would they need to already be employed in construction before they go and get their certification, or would you recommend that they get the certification first and then?
That's a great question. I would prefer you come see me first, because there's a safety orientation that you need to understand. Because I give you one. So I remember my background is safety as well. So I had 13 young ladies under me. 13. And so I said to them, now I also had the school going on as well, the training. So I'm saying to them, okay, you are a safety attendant, and you're making $13, $14 an hour.
At a plant?
Yeah, at a plant.
Okay.
So what safety attendant is, okay, if you go into a confined space, you got to have an attendant out attending that hole to ensure that everybody's still alive on the inside of that. But she or he is extremely important on the outside of that confined space. So I had 13 young ladies working for me, and that's what they were doing for us. Some of them had been with us for 7, 8 years, and they were sharp. Right at I don't know if I can say this name. Can I say this name? The company that petrochemical company.
Sure.
ExxonMobil.
And
they knew ExxonMobil policies, procedures, was standards, is what Exxon called them. Better than some Exxon guys. And so what we would do, we would mentor them out to when a new construction company would come in, we would mentor them. They would mentor that company. And so I'm like, I got 13 young ladies working for me, but they don't have a certification.
Wow.
So to me being a safety manager, they were my helpers, as a pipe fitter would have what we call a pipe fitter helper. So why wouldn't I want them to be educated? To make the big money. To move from $13 to $14 an hour to $25 to $27 to $30 an hour. Well, I got some stories to tell.
Yes.
Because I encourage some of my young ladies to go through the NCCR safety course, and they did get it. They got their certification, and as soon as I got an opportunity, boom, I said, hey, I called my manager. I said, hey, I got 2 young ladies over here ready for safety right now.
That's good.
So he said, man, you for real? I said, yeah. I don't care where you put them. They going to shine. I say, because they mentoring here at ExxonMobil, and I'll say about ExxonMobil, they got the most stringent when it comes to discipline about safety than anybody. And so I said, if they can mentor companies, they can definitely mentor a crew. And boom, he gave them opportunity, and wow, they getting it now. So I said that to say this. God put me on this earth. 29 years ago, he called me to the ministry. Lord, kicking and screaming. No, not me.
Yes, I don't want it. I don't want to.
No, don't want to. But I've seen too many young men falling by the wayside for no reason at all. When I first got into the industry, what was a certification? We didn't know anything about that. You know, and even though they had trades in high school, but remember, By the time we got to high school, they took all of the trades out, the welding and all of that, and came with the computers because the computers are going to take over the world. But you still need construction.
Yeah.
You still need to build stuff.
Yeah.
And so now what I'm saying, if it's anybody out there that wants to partner with me to do some projects, I don't have a problem with that because I'm bringing the certification to the table.
Right.
And I'm tired of our young men and young women not being educated. Okay, so what? You're a single mom. That doesn't stop anything.
Right.
Young lady asked me a question, and I want to put this out there because I need to. Why is these young men so lazy? I asked her, I said, you got a boyfriend? Yeah. Your baby daddy? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I said, okay, you out here with me. Where he at? On the couch sleep.
Oh, and don't.
I said, okay, well, that's the problem. You're enabling him. You out here working with me. Make him come out here with us. You know, so the whole point that I'm making is, even if you're a single mom, you still can be certified and make so much more money and get that car that Kay was talking about and get that house that Kay was talking about and buy and purchase your own land. Because I'm telling you, within the construction industry, you can make six figures easy.
Wow.
Easy.
And start your own company, you know.
No doubt.
Start your own
no
business.
Doubt. No doubt.
That is awesome.
No
I
doubt.
can hear the passion. I can hear the
doubt.
I can hear the passion. And so, Kay, I know that you're very passionate about what you do. As I stated earlier, I believe you are a visionary, and with what you're implementing, what opportunities are you offering for employees? I hear Larry just talking about, come see me. So you tell us, what opportunities are you offering for people to come on to join your team?
Oh, that's a great one. Right now, if you turn on the news, you'll hear so many stories about people resigning. They're going home. They're deciding not to work. We've been very, very fortunate to actually be able to hire several new people because our organization is growing. One of the things that we really take pride in is actually being able to pay above the minimum wage. As you know, Larry talked a little bit about some of the companies are paying a lower minimum wage, but we recently raised ours to $15 an hour.
Okay.
And that's really a good starting wage in Galveston, Texas. And so we're very, very happy about being able to make that move, and it's because we've had a spectacular 2021, and we're looking forward to an even better 2022. But when the company as a whole, we do better, we really try to pass that on to our employees as well. One of the things that's also pretty important to most young people right now is tuition reimbursement.
Tuition reimbursement.
Okay. Being able to take a class or courses to enable them to hone in on some of their professional skills that they actually need to be employed by the credit union. So that's been a real win for our organization.
Okay, that's exciting. A spectacular 2021, you said. A spectacular 2021. I'm gonna hang there right there for a second. What's next? You're doing all these amazing things. What is next for Coastal? What is next?
Coastal has primarily served the Galveston County area. But I am thrilled to death that we are going to be moving into the Harris County area as well. So that's going to broaden our footprint enormously. And so we're just kind of chomping at the bits to see the project that we're working on right now come to fruition and really be able to work with several people in the Harris County area as well as the Galveston County area.
Little Coastal, right there on the corner of 23rd and Church. Wow. That is exciting.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. I'm trying to contain myself.
All right.
Yes. And you know, I have to just throw this out there. As I mentioned earlier, I was a member of the credit union when I first went to the post office, right? Okay, so you are the first African American woman African American and then African American woman
Mm-hmm.
to be the president and see. I mean, we're not even going to talk about Black History Month, okay?
Right,
Because
right.
Black History is every day. It's not
Right.
just February 21 through 28th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but that is, imagine a little brown girl,
Mm-hmm.
you know, seeing you and saying, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the inspiration, you know, the impact. You are the first. Well, what?
I don't have words for it.
Oh.
And I guess I didn't realize the significance of being afforded the opportunity. I kind of tear up when I even think about it. I've had so many of our members to come through and just say, thank you, you know, for being here, or we're proud of you. And it makes me proud of me as well. And so I feel that there's an overwhelming desire in me to make sure that I do those folks proud, if I can say it that way, to do those folks proud and to provide the products and the services that they really need in order to achieve a level of financial stability that is so needed in our area. So I am extremely proud and thankful, and I use a term a couple of months back. I said I was blessed and I didn't know it. Blessed and didn't know it. I'm like, that sounds like a topic for a book, right?
No
Blessed
doubt,
and
no
didn't
doubt.
know it. And you know, Miss Bobby, one thing that I have shared with you before is, you know, just like you were kind of running from being, you know, called to preach, I was
Right.
kind of running from Galveston when
Yeah.
I originally met our board of directors. You know, I had a job and I was doing just fine, and,
Right.
and you know, everything was going hunky dory. And they started talking to me about some of the opportunities and some of the things that they really wanted to see happen in the organization, and I became extremely curious. And then that curiosity turned into, I can do this. I want to do this. And so, you know, we kind of went back and forth for a couple of months, and I finally decided I'm going to Galveston. You know, let's just go and let's just do this. And I tell you, it will be 2 years that I've been in Galveston next month, and I haven't worked a day at all, because when I go in every day, I'm doing what exactly I want to do. I'm actually able to help people in a way that I want to help them, and that I feel like they need to be helped, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So I am blessed beyond, you know, my imagination. And I also shared with you that this is my ministry.
Yeah, that's right.
This
That's
is my
right.
You know,
ministry.
I
That's
was
right.
going to say, it's something about a calling.
Yes, it is.
When you have been called
That's
to
right.
an
called
assignment.
to do something, when you've been
When I have
called to do
church in
something.
it,
And one thing that I really, really love about our chairman of the board, Mr. Gilbert Robinson, before we have a board meeting, he stops and he opens up that board meeting with prayer.
There you go.
He opens up that board meeting with prayer. And what we pray for is the decisions that we make for Coastal Community Federal Credit. We want those decisions to be the right decisions for the community in which we're serving. And when we walk out of those board meetings, what we know is that we've done the very best job that we could do at that particular time to make sure that people have the best financial situation that they possibly can have.
That's amazing. I can remember about a year or so ago, I would run into people and they would say, hey, have you met? I know you're with the chamber. Have you met Kay? Have you met the lady? The credit union lady.
Credit union lady, yeah.
Have you met the credit union
The
lady?
credit union
And I
lady,
was like,
yes.
no. And then I started reaching out, and you were always so busy. Let me tell you, Larry, what I did. I have been trying to reach her. Could never get her. And I told Leandria, I said, I'm going to meet her. I went to the credit union and sat, and there was a guy. Remember the guy, the police guy?
Yes.
There's a police guy right at the door.
Yeah.
And so I said, I'm here to see Miss Karmon. He was like, do you have an appointment? I said, no, I don't. And so he says, well, she's with the member. I said, I'll wait. He seemed very reluctant to let me in a credit union, okay? So I just went and I didn't know what she looked like. I did not. All I knew, you got to meet this credit union lady. So I go and I sit, and she's talking to a customer, the hands-on thing. And so she finished with that customer, and she just walked over to me and she says, "Hi, I really like that skirt you're wearing." And I said, she says, "Can I help you?" I said, "Well, I'm here to meet Kate Karmon." And she said, "That's me." And I was like, "Oh my God, you're harder to catch up with than Michelle Obama." I've been trying to get a hold of you.
Yeah.
So wow, I'm super proud. I'm super proud to say that I know you and that I met you and that we're doing all these things, that you guys are, a part of our chamber.
Yes.
And as you spoke about how well your businesses are doing, and Tri-County is doing amazing things as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
And the programs that we have in place, and we have a construction alliance, and we have a trucking alliance, and all those great things to help you to further advance in your business,
Right.
to raise the level above the bar and all these other things. So we've got a lot of great things in place for that. And so I think that our relationship and all those things connects us. It connects us. So we're running out of time, but tell us how we can find you, where you
Sure.
are, your phone
Sure.
numbers, your website, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. Again, Coastal Community Federal Credit Union. We have 2 locations in Galveston. Our main location is at 2302 Church Street. We also have a location on Stewart Road, 69th Street, and then
Okay.
we have a 3rd location in Lamarck, and
Okay.
we're looking forward to a 4th location very, very soon in Southeast Houston. And the best way to contact us is via our website, which is www.coastalcommunityfcu.org.
Okay. Coastal Community
FCU.org.
FCU.org. Okay, Mr. Larry.
Okay, so our website is www.md4u, MD, the number 4, letter U.org. And you can contact us at 832-695-2555. And the reason why, I'll give you the address, but I'm mobile anyway. 1301 Memorial Drive, Baytown, Texas.
Okay.
But and you can see it on our website as well. The numbers on our website.
Okay.
And I'm excited about hearing from you.
Okay.
Excited.
Okay. So Coastal Community Federal Credit Union and MD4U. If you're interested in construction and petrochemical, so when you go over here to Larry and you're getting your certifications that you're needing, and then you're making all this money, then you go see Kay,
That's right.
and
That's
she's
right.
gonna help.
That's
We're gonna
right.
work this. That's how we do it, right? Then you're gonna
right.
go see Kay, and she's gonna show you how to manage all this money that you're working. And so just know that these people are here. These people, my people, like Kay says, her 10,000 members.
That's right.
And we're all members of the chamber. We're that mindset on one accord. Great minds.
Yes.
You guys are awesome. It has been an absolute pleasure to sit with you today, and we could just go on and on
Right.
and on and on. Just good, valuable information. So please don't hesitate to reach out to Coastal Community Federal Credit Union and MD4, the number 4U. Go to their websites, check them out, do your research, play around and do
That's
some
right.
scrolling around on the website to see what they have to offer, and you will be blessed beyond measure. So we're going to close out. We're going to, again, thank our sponsors, Amico Federal Credit Union, Quality Precision Coatings, and the Linwood Group. So, and if you are interested in becoming a part of our chamber family, you can find us at tcbcc.org. That's tcbcc.org. And also, finally, if you're interested in starting your own commercial, your own podcast, whatever you're needing for your business to go to the next level media-wise, reach out to gmtradio.com. That's gmtradio.com. And as Howard always says, his name is Nice. His name is Kenji, but we all call him Nice because he's just nice with it. So thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you next time.
All right.